Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So, blah, blah, blah. Can't forget it again. Hey guys, so we're having a tropical storm right now, at least so they say. I don't even know if you can hear me. So we're having a tropical storm right now, see? When I carry this system, but wait and see, because I went outside to go and check part of the roof because it was making some noise. So you know, I don't want to fly away. It's just basically at the back of the storage room. That's the only part that has like a few zinc roof over it, and it was making noise, so I went and checked. But out there, wicked. When I tell you out there, wicked. So I'm soaked, but I want to show you what's going on, cause trust me, a long time when I see a heavy storm like this. Like yeah, we normally get like, you know, little bit of rain and stuff from the other hurricanes and stuff, but nothing really like this. So yeah, me and mommy are gonna go outside and see what we can do. We have a pear tree. We have like around 3 or 4 pear trees. I don't know how much pear drop off already. Look on this, people. Look on pear what drop off already, and this is just half of it. Half of it. Me not even pick up all of them yet. Wanna see this, people? Pear, you know? Green pear. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you can see this right now, but I've been water there, so I maybe have the door open before. Yeah, the door open before. So beer water blowing. Jaja, wanna see that? Yes, water. So mommy is joining us right now. Oh, and look what I do to it. Maranda already.
That's normally up here. First one.
Oh gosh. Oops, sorry. Mommy plant drop over.
Well, that's so. But I don't know if it makes sense now because
Wait,
it's storming.
let's take off this stuff.
Uh-oh. No, this goes here. Look at that.
Oh, it was up here, so
Yeah, it was up here. I wonder if it makes sense.
no.
Or if it will blow down again.
It probably had to blow down again. Oh no. Mommy stepped in glass. And deep too, you know. Yeah.
Oh, so I'm going for some shoes.
So give me 1 second, I'm going to clean out this glass here, and this fell down a bulb. So I'm gonna try sort it out. Give me a sec. Guys, I'm just there. I don't even know if it's right here. But I wanted to wash my hair today. I guess this is already doing something for me. I'm here, I get soaked right now. Oh, lightning. breadfruit drop down too. So guys, my sister made it. Chelsea. Come on now, girl. I got it, Baba. I just came out here so I could help you.
Okay. Yeah, move the umbrella.
Yeah, take out the car seat or just she.
Take out the car seat.
We got Kiki here. That was smart. She's sleeping. So, you know what, me cater? You know what, me cater to your daughter first?
Yeah, but you just left us stranded out.
I didn't. I put her down. Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today, mommy. So that means another story time with mommy. First and foremost, I want to apologize for the delay in this specific video. We weren't able to post it on Thursday because we had a tropical storm which was called Grace, and yeah, she take away electricity for 2 whole days just for fun, I guess. Almost 3 days. So, and right after that I had a week-long trip planned to Montego Bay. So when in those 3 days that I wanted to pre-record something for you guys, I wasn't able to because we didn't have any electricity and I couldn't charge up the camera and stuff like that. So yeah, my apologies, but you're still getting this story time, and Thursday coming I get on a regular story time, so no worries, nothing is lost. You don't have to wait any extended time. So yeah, but yeah, mommy, you can jump right into the video.
I will. Disclaimer: the stories that I'm going to tell in this series are my experience, my truth, and my point of view over the past 38 years that I have been in Jamaica, and it's in no way intended to slander any person, the culture of Jamaica, or the island as a whole. Oh, hi Melt lovelies again. Last time we finished with the announcement of a hurricane coming to Jamaica, which was in September 1988. And that hurricane, of course, I saw it in your comments last time, of course, was Gilbert. One of the biggest hurricanes we have ever had in Jamaica, over I don't know how many years. So in the radio and the TV, everybody is like, oh guys, prepare, nail up your windows, nail up your roofs, and get ready for the big storm, and buy groceries, buy everything you can buy up, like tins and flour and rice and you name it. So the entire Jamaica kind of went into an upheaval here, and everybody started to run around like headless chicken. So of course we kind of got infected as well, and well, there was nothing much we could nail at our house, to be truthful, because what happened is we had a zinc roof, but it seemed to be very firm. We tried as much as we could reach to see if it was nailed properly, and it was. Our windows, we had louvers. and we didn't have any material also to nail them down, so we just kind of risked it.
Whatever happens, happens, man.
Exactly. The place where we parked our car was way up beside the road, so even if flood would come, so that wouldn't affect it. It was a heavy Land Rover, so I don't think the winds could have affected really. So we kind of said, okay, we park it here, put some stones around the tires and stuff. Bought our groceries, of course. I mean, that was and water to drink, because that was the most important in me. Oh, to get water, my God. I mean, even going in the supermarket before the hurricane was like an ordeal, because I mean, tons of people in there, everything sell out in no time. We were lucky we went there in time, so we got enough for our family. But we heard some other people complaining, oh my God, we can't get no more water, we can't get this, we can't get that, and everybody was panicky. So I was like, yeah, well, thank you, I did it in time, you know? And so the day came when the hurricane was supposed to arrive, and actually one lucky thing was that it happened throughout the day. Because I think if it had been throughout the night, it would have been really, really, really spooky. But it actually arrived early in the morning, and I was absolutely fascinated. I looked out and saw these gusts of wind that would move everything outside, and I was like standing at my window, and I actually went down at the door and looked out and said, whoa, what a power. I was like, I love this. I mean, of course not the danger of the hurricane also, but just to see the sheer power of nature for me was like so amazing. I was in awe. I felt this little, and I said, my God, look at this power of nature. Actually, what happened, it started to blow, and then heavy rains came. Lucky thing, our louver windows were pretty good and holding it out. And I think what was a good thing too, that they left through a little bit of air. So basically our windows, I can say from now, none of them cracked, none of them got damaged. I mean, we were really good in that respect. What happened though, I looked out and I saw we had quite a few trees around the house. And there was this one palm tree right in front of our kitchen, really, really high, like about at least 10 yards high. And it started to shake heavily. I mean, it was like I mean, the crown of it sometimes almost touched the ground. That hard it was swaying. And then I watched the root part. And you know, palm tree, they are very slim, and then they get this knobby root part, and then the little bit of root go in the ground, and this knobby part started to shake. I mean, shaking more and more, and I was, oh my God, please don't let this palm tree come on my house, because that would have caused major damage. So throughout the entire storm, I was watching that tree like a hawk. Right beside it, we had a big breadfruit tree, and it was swaying too, and some other tree. Everything was like, I mean, it was amazing.
They were all dancing.
And then some neighbors of us who had only a small little house, a wooden house, and that wasn't very safe, so they came run over and asked if they could stay with us, and said, oh, of course, come in, sure, you know, because I mean, was a mother with 4 children, nobody could say no there. So we all gathered in the safest room in the house and just hang on waiting, because that's all you could do. Of course, electricity went off pretty early in the game. I don't even know, did we have a radio? I think we had a radio, but like with batteries and stuff. So we could get a little bit of information throughout the storm. And then around midday, the eye of the storm arrived. which meant from one second to the next, from this heavy storm, oops, calm. Nothing. I mean, no movement. And at first we said, the storm is over. And then it was like, nah, that's the eye of the storm. That can't be over yet. And sure enough, that held on for about 1.5 to 2 hours. And after that, it started again. And I think it was almost heavier than before. I ran right in the kitchen again, watching my coconut palm tree there. And looking, oh, please don't. And because it was, of course, going heavier and heavier. And suddenly I hear this loud and this big, thick breadfruit tree we had right beside the house just crack over like a match. Not even by the root part, almost in the middle of the height, and
like a matches stick.
And fell over, luckily not on the house. It fell to the side. It was laying on the ground, flat. And a piece of the trunk was still standing up. So I was like, whoa, and that was a big tree. Actually, next day we could go out and get some breadfruit. pick them walking. Didn't have to go on the tree. So that was kind of a little bit frightening. Then we realized that around us, a lot of debris and things start to fly around. I mean, we heard out on the road, we heard all this metal scraping, which were pieces of zinc roof that were blown off the houses of people, and they just would fly over the road, over the place. I mean, everything was flying suddenly. And I always said, oh my God, please let this be over soon, let this be over soon. And by about, it still was daylight. About 5 o'clock. It finally was over. So everybody ran out of their houses. And what happened, that was kind of funny though. Everybody started to pick up the zinc parts from the roofs. Because my neighbors had a lot of losses, especially the people that were in my house. Their whole roof was off. So their house was soaking wet. I was so sorry for them. The whole roof was off. So they had 3 sons, a little bit older already. So all the 3 sons out on the road, running around, picking up pieces of zinc here and there. And everybody else did that too. And I bet you, not a soul in Jamaica got back to them own zinc,
How would they know?
They wouldn't know. And then the way it was blowing around, I guess, like your next door or after neighbor would get your zinc and so on. So that was kind of interesting to see. Everybody walked around and looked at the damage that was done to the houses, to their yards. So we got tons of trees were broken and fell down. Tons. Of course, the whole electricity poles, some of them dropped, some of them were broken, so everything, it looked like a massacre on the road.
So was there any floods like that or not really?
Well, where we lived, we didn't get any, but for example, Long Bay, a little bit further down the coast, they couldn't find their road anymore. Their road was covered with it was beach, basically. It was covered with sand. Yeah. I mean, when Long Bay, they had to shovel free that road in heavy labor for days, because basically they had to guess where's the road now. Where could it be underneath the sun? Yeah, it was, and they had a church there, and the whole church was washed away basically. Everything they had at the beach there was washed away. I mean, I went there a few days after, and even then it was still wow, But Antonio, we have a twin harbor, and the twin harbor, and we have Navy Island in front of our town, and that is basically a hurricane saver, because on one side of Navy Island we have reef, and that breaks the waves as well. So basically nobody in our area really had flood. A good friend of mine, she had a little guest how to call it, like a little resort. She built some wooden huts with thatch roof, and she had like a kitchen house and a bathhouse. The same thing basically that I wanted to do in Ferry Hill. And she was so worried before the hurricane, and she said, I cannot stay here. My whole place will be blown away and everything. So she went and found some friends where she could stay. And I thought about her quite a bit while the storm hit. And I said, oh my God, I hope Katie's whole place is not mashed up. So basically it was really a huge damage. And then of course the water supply stopped as well. And everybody was out the road looking around. And what did happen though, which was not that nice, a lot of looting started. People would just not so much in our area, but for example the Trident Hotel that we have is right by the coast, and that hotel got damaged. And a lot of people from the town would just walk in there and take whatever, you know, and they didn't have any chance against them. But some of them were caught and they were brought to justice after. But nonetheless, you know, I mean, everybody is in this big
same distress and
exactly. So why would you really do that? That was a really nasty side of some people here that I discovered and I didn't appreciate. On the other side, on the positive side, suddenly all the others, they came together and started to clean up and help each other, and that was fantastic. I mean, I really enjoyed that. And I have seen the Jamaicans for once, I mean, in no time, in seriously no time, 2-3 days, the amount of work they did to clear up the roads, to help even when JPS started to work again and try to put up electricity. It took them 2 weeks still, you know. We didn't have electricity for 2 weeks, and that was fast. Some other areas, they didn't have electricity for weeks on end. We didn't have water for over a week. So what happened is right the next day, lucky thing we had the car. We fill up the car with anything we had that could hold water. Well, we had a dam right near to the house. We could fill up some kegs and stuff for the immediate use. And then of course some things got wet and stuff, so we loaded up the car with a few other people and went to the Rio Grande, a little bit further up, and started to wash laundry. Because the only way you could wash laundry at that time, you know, there was no way you could wash in your house or anything. So every 2-3 days we took a trip with our car full with people and laundry and soap, and we had fun though. That was fun. Just go to the river, bathe ourselves and wash the laundry and come back home and sometimes even cook at the river and stuff. So that was kind of nice.
Like back to the
old days. Well, we were lucky that we had the car. I mean, seriously, without a car we would have been lost.
So we'll now walk with no pan on head.
My goodness, lucky thing that was spared. But about 2 days after, suddenly some people turn up at our house with backpacks and stuff, and they said, can we sleep in your house? Germans. Of course they were sent to us by some people because, oh, there's a German lady living there, you know. So turned up and was 3 people. And they were so, and they said, we just flew in, practically, they just reached into Jamaica before the hurricane, just before it started. And they had been lost, basically. They went from here to there, and they had a booking in Port Antonio for some guest house. And the guest house said, no, we can't take you. We have neither electricity nor water. We cannot take you. So they bluntly refused to take them. So they were completely, oh, what are we going to do? And then they send them to us. And my heart, of course, was melting. And I said, well, I don't have water or electricity neither. But, all right, come in. We go find some space for you. So we kind of basically put them, I don't even know in which corner. They were sleeping. They didn't even have a bed, but they had a place to stay, a roof over their head, and we cooked together and stuff. And basically, they had fun. They had a good time. And which was nice because they would pay me a little money too, so at least I would have something to go over that time.
Yeah.
Because we had some supermarkets in the town that had a generator. So those places were the only places in the entire town where you could get a decent cold drink. And can you imagine, after the hurricane now, sun come out, piping hot, steaming, and you're thirsty and you can't get no cold, nothing cold. So the supermarkets, they were smart, you know, they raised the price on the drink. It's like, oh la la la, we have to buy gas for our generator, so we have to raise the prices. Nobody cared as long as we could get a cold drink. I mean, cold drinks were the seller at the time. They couldn't even get enough drinks to sell, because of course the delivery was delayed as well. So that is why people really tried very hard to get the roads free again and open, so the trucks could come in and deliver goods, and so that was really fantastic. But nonetheless, we were sitting there without water, without electricity, and you know, Jamaica in September is very hot. And so no fan or nothing to help you with the heat, and it was rough. It was really rough. No fridge, of course, nothing, you know. Lucky thing we cook on gas here, so we weren't dependent on any electricity for that. But it was really rough. And then again, it was about a week or 10 days after the hurricane, I woke up in the night because my bed was shaking like, and I was like,
it's swaying.
It was going to the front and coming back.
Yeah.
And the entire kitchen, everything was rattling in the kitchen and making noise in the kitchen in the middle of the night, you know. And I got so scared. I said, oh my God, that's an earthquake. And you know, with earthquake, you don't know if it's only once, or if something else might come, or if it might get worse even after and stuff. And it was pretty strong already, you know. So I was like, what? Everything was dark, of course. No electricity still, you know. So it was like so frightening. I was frightened out of my mind. I ran to my children's room. They were fast asleep. None of them even realized that we did have a major earthquake right now. Only me, and I was like, So that night was really awful. And I was glad when the day came, and of course I couldn't sleep because I was expecting maybe something else to come, and then I would have to probably take the children out of their beds and put them somewhere to be safe. And because our front kitchen, as I was mentioning before, was on stilts with a wooden floor, and that is nothing that would withstand an earthquake. So boy, that was really hard. And then basically after 2 weeks we got back electricity. About 10 days we got back some water, and we were happy, and we were like, oh, we survived this, thank you, Jah, you know. So that was a real heavy duty experience. So the same neighbors that had the house behind us that got really heavily damaged, they had some family abroad, and the family sent them 2 barrels with clothes, with shoes, with other stuff. And the 3 boys were always in my house because of my boys. They were kind of getting well on together, and so they came over one day very proud, you know. One showed me this nice and slick jacket, you know, and said, look, don't I look good? And I said, yeah man, I look really good, I like it. And the other one come with some leather shoes and said, oh, I get some leather shoes. And I said, all right, take good care of them, you know. And they showed me everything, very proud, because they were pretty poor. And so I was happy for them that they finally got something. But what happened after a few days, that's what really, I mean, I was so appalled, to be honest. One of the boys came in with his jacket, and the whole arm was pulled out. And I said, but wait, you just get that jacket, what happened? And said, oh, me and my brother ramped around and then pulled the arm of the jacket and pulled it out. And I said, but why you are wearing it like that now anyhow? I mean, it doesn't make sense. You look now, it's smashed up already. And it was just like not even a week after they got the barrel. And at that time now we started to go back to the beach. Weather was nice. But what did happen though, all the beaches of course were looking awful. Because the whole amount of garbage and plastic and debris that was washed on. So we started to even clean up a bit and have some space to go swim because the weather was hot and nice and we needed some refreshment. So I was at the beach with the baby, with Mayumi, and see the same boys a little further down by the beach in the water, having fun, playing. I said, oh, that's nice, they have fun. And then they came out of the water, came towards me to say hi. And then I realized that one of them was wearing the leather shoes. And I was like, what the heck you think you're doing here? Those are good leather shoes that you just got recently and you go in the seawater with them? You must be out of your... Oh, I was so angry. I'm in the after-war generation in Germany, you know, and I mean, when I got a few little clothes, my mother wouldn't even make me wear them until they were almost too small for me to wear them, you know, because, oh yeah, we have them, but we need to keep them, yeah. Preserve them. And then you come here and you see these children doing these things with just what they got. And I mean, their families abroad have to work hard. To buy that and send it and everything. And I was like so shocked. And then when I looked at the boy and said, but they'll just go mash up in no time. Oh, we soon get some more barrels. And then I was really angry because I said, oh, I saw you waste your people money them. I saw you do your people that work hard and send over your stuff. Oh, I was so pissed. That was really awful. And then again, a few days after, all that happened in about the same period of time. My younger son Nicky came home with a friend, and that friend had a nasty cut on his hand, and he said, oh, mommy, come, we have to go to the hospital with him and make him get it dressed and stuff. And I said, of course. And we jump in the car and drive up to the hospital and emergency room. And of course, Jamaican emergency room, you have to wait quite a while until you get any attention. And then finally it was our turn, and so me and Nicky and that little boy approached the room and went through the door, and we didn't even go good in the room when the doctor looked up, pointed on Nicky, my son, and said, oh, he has to stay here. And I was, why? What happened? Oh yeah, he has to stay here, he has a kidney infection. I said, but I'm not coming for him. I'm coming. See the cut here? That's what we are coming for.
This is what we're here
this is what we are here for. And the doctor said, well, yeah, we take care of that, but he has to stay here. And he gave him like he had to pee in something, and he gave him some tests and stuff. And it's true, you know, he had a kidney infection. It's true, you know. I mean, I was like, what? And the doctor even asked me, but don't you see it? His face is puffy, and this and that, and they said, no, I didn't. For me, it wasn't puffy. That man has never seen my son before, you know, in life.
And Nicky wasn't showing any form of
symptoms.
Was
nothing. He had no symptoms. He was peeing normally. He didn't have any pain. He had no fever, nothing. So I was like really in awe again of this doctor, because I mean, I've never seen anything like that. Somebody who just look at you and say, you have to stay here. So actually he was admitted in the hospital. They didn't want to let him go anymore. And then it was the children's ward, and the children's ward is not big because they had one room, and on the side of the room was another very small room that could just hold a bed. But between the two rooms was a big glass, like a window. And And in that very small room was a single bed with this severely handicapped boy. He was bigger already. He was like about 16, 17 already, but I guess until 18 they keep him in a children's ward, or I have no idea. But he was really severely handicapped. I mean, he could barely control his movements, and you could see his brain was not all that neither, and they had to feed him and everything, and he was laying naked in the bed, and he used to his hands to smear his feces all over the place, you know. And then they said, oh, they want to admit my son right beside that. He would be right beside the window looking at that guy the whole time. And as fate does it, it was of course weekend, right? And then on weekend, no doctor is really available to do anything, and my son would be just there, getting maybe some antibiotics, and they wouldn't do anything to him. And that's when I struck. I said, no, he is not staying here. I couldn't stay with him neither. That was another point. I mean, even if I could have stayed with him, it would have been different. But there's no, you can't stay.
On the window, they didn't have any curtains,
no curtain, nothing, wide open. So he would have been right in that room staring at that boy there the whole time. You know, I mean, I'm sorry for him. It is no disrespect towards him, but I do not believe that at the time Nicky was 8 years old, an 8-year-old child should be in a situation where he has to look on something like that continually.
Yeah,
that was not fair. So
you were basically afraid that Nicky would get traumatized from seeing that
of course.
Constantly.
And I'm a lioness when it comes to my children. So it's like I raised hell there, and I said, no, I'm not going to leave my child here. There is no way. Oh, then I would have to find another doctor to help me get him out and take responsibility for him. And luckily I had a good friend, doctor, and I called him right away and I said, please come and explain the situation. And he came right away, and he saw what I was seeing, and he realized that I was right, and that it wouldn't make sense to keep the child in the hospital over the weekend
when they can't do nothing with it.
Exactly, when they wouldn't do nothing, not even can't, but they wouldn't. And then I got my son released, brought him home, make him stay in bed, make him drink plenty stuff, and so on. On Monday, bright and early, I did bring him back, and they finally could do what they had to do. And then basically he didn't even have to stay anymore. You know, that was a lucky thing. So that was another story that we had shortly after the hurricane. Now I have to actually consider what will be the next story, because right now we have so many things still to tell, but the time sequence is kind of hard to grasp sometimes. So I'm trying my best. Say hi to Kiki.
Hi, Kiki.
Hi, Kiki Poo.
Boy, I have like what this? What this?
Okay, so for this time I cannot even tell you what I'm going to talk about next, because I have to find some more interesting topics again. But we are getting close to the time where I have to go back to Germany one more time, but only for 4 weeks. With a very, very good reason. So guys, see you next time, and stay healthy.
Yes,
bye.
Everybody stay healthy, guys. Say bye, Kiki. Say bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.